All right, this time, let's talk about the fucking protesters defying Columbia University's order to leave the encampment.
It's half an hour past the deadline Columbia set for students to leave that encampment. This is inside of Columbia University. Our camera is inside where the number of protesters has been growing. The number of tents going up has been growing. The protesters are defying quite clearly that university order to leave. Alexis McAdams is live on the ground inside Columbia for us. She's watching all of this. What can you tell us, Alexis?
Hey, Sandra. Well, we're 2:33, right, and counting here, and the protesters are still set up. I'm going to walk you with you this way here in New York City at Columbia University. This is that Gaza Solidarity encampment, right? We've been seeing it for days. The university said the students get out of here or get suspended. Well, they're still here, and they don't look like they're going anywhere. The tents are still set up. The university did give them this warning here. The NYPD is on high alert. We saw more officers kind of lining up outside of the main gates here. I did reach out to some NYPD sources who tell me they still did not get a call yet from Columbia's president, Manu Shafiq, right, who told these students that she was no longer going to negotiate with them. Negotiations had stopped, and they needed to leave. You can see the tents, Palestinian flags, and then these signs that say you cannot cover up genocide. They were calling on the NYPD to back down a short time ago, these protesters, and telling the school that they wanted these kids to not get in trouble who were out here, even though they weren't supposed to be. I will have Vic, my photographer, walk this way with me just for a second, just to kind of show you here, Sandra. It does look like some of the tents used to be a little bit busier here the other day. When I was here, there's not as many tents right there. You can see more grass. So some of them might have moved because the university said—
She hates them? Bro, she's a Fox News correspondent. Of course she hates them.
Quite simply, we know who's in this crowd, and you're going to get suspended, and then graduation, as we know, right, is coming up, so they wouldn't be able to graduate. Over here as well, you can see some of the protesters marching around the campus. So this has kind of been the activity. Most of the people left the Gaza Solidarity encampment, and they're just kind of walking around here in the quad at the university. But as the time counts, I think people want to know here, right, especially Jewish students and their parents, they want to know who's in charge here at Columbia University. Is it the president, Manu Shafiq, who's been getting growing calls to step down, or is it these students, right, who won't go anywhere even though they've been told that they're supposed to be out of the area? Sandra?
Yeah, so we're showing inside and outside the campus there. We are also being told that outside the campus, the crowd's getting much larger. They are chanting the usual chants, anti-Israel chants. Columbia is now announcing—
No, they're chanting anti-Israel chants. The pearl clutching, dude. No, that's so scary. What's next? Are they saying anti-American chants too? Oh no, I'm so scared though.
Saying, Alexis, that they're going to have a virtual update. A briefing is going to happen at 6 p.m. The rest of the details remain to be determined. That's a long time from now. You're talking 3.5 hours from right now, and a good 4 hours past the deadline when they said these students have to be gone or they would be suspended, Alexis.
Yeah, I think that's why would they leave, right? Because they're not being really escorted off campus by anybody.
She's like, yeah, the cops haven't killed them. It's really fucked up. Why won't the police beat the shit out of them? Why won't the police just do what needs to be done? A group of 21 House Democrats signed on a letter to calling for Columbia University's board to end an ongoing peaceful pro-Palestinian encampment on its campus or resign. Adam Schiff, Darren Soto, Louis Frankel, Jared Moskowitz, freak. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, freak. Brad Schneider, Haley Stevens, Steny Hoyer, Dean Phillips, Kathy Manning, Wiley Nickel, Chris Pappas, Donald Norcross, Josh Gottheimer, another freak. Rob Menendez. Wait, Bob Menendez? I thought Bob Menendez was like, we got to put an end to this shit. Is Rob Menendez a different guy, or is it the Bob Menendez? Or is it the son? Oh, is it Bob Menendez's son? His daddy ain't on board. It's Bob's son, Rob. I love political dynasties. Tom Suozzi, Dan Goldman, Richie Torres. Who could forget old Richie boy? Oh yeah, another freak. Henry Cuellar, another freak. Of course, he is on board with this because he's like, I just love having the most right-wing position possible. And Mark Veazey, Israel lobby totaling, ding, 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 $10.9 million in just this group alone. You sound surprised at Dean Phillips? Look at his brain dead tweet the other day. Imagine if Constitution put as much energy into protecting reproductive rights and reducing poverty, homelessness, crime, and other injustices in America. Imagine. Yeah, shut the fuck up, Dean. Dumbass. Henry Cuellar, a disgrace to us Latinos. Henry Cuellar is the most conservative, I called him a Republican, the most conservative Democrat in the Democratic Party. Henry Cuellar famously is anti-abortion. Nancy Pelosi literally defended Henry Cuellar against Henry Cuellar's former intern, Jessica Cisneros, who is young and also was very progressive. Henry Cuellar is a disgrace to the 956. He is an awful, corrupt demon. I saw Henry Cuellar at the Diddy Freak-Offs. Yeah, thank God for Adam shit, by the way. Oh, anyway. When people kneel, it's wrong. When people block traffic, it's wrong. When people camp on campus, it's wrong. When people chant, it's wrong. When is it okay? Well, you're beginning to get it. It's never okay. That's why it's laughable whenever people go, why don't the Palestinians peacefully protest? Well, they did. You know what happened? Israel killed them by the hundreds. Okay, they did in 2018. There is no valid way to protest against the apartheid. They do not want you to protest against the apartheid. That is why peaceful college campus demonstrations such as these tent encampments that the students have put together are being violently suppressed. This is something that people need to comprehend. That's it.
Next guest is
Anyway, let's watch this Palestinian guy without me losing my goddamn mind.
a Palestinian from Gaza.
This is the guy who wrote the article on Newsweek. Message from a Gazan to campus protesters. You're hurting the Palestinian cause. I'm going to lose my
The
mind.
city who left Gaza in 2023 and now lives in Germany. He recently wrote an opinion piece for Newsweek.
Oh, now he lives in Germany. He's got that German brain rot, dude. So quick.
Titled, Message from a Gazan to Campus Protesters, You're Hurting the Palestinian Cause. I have HasanAbi.
Imagine having this guy on as though he is representative of Palestinians as a movement, as a whole, as a unit. Like this guy, his voice is not echoed by a single other Palestinian. There's like 4 other guys like this, and they're all being paid by the state of Israel. And you're over here interviewing this guy? How much time have you offered to the campus protesters themselves? How much time has CNN offered to actual Palestinians that are inside of Gaza, that are trapped inside of goddamn Gaza, and their perspective on the student protests? You are not blind. You have eyes. You can see the very same things that we see. We see the Palestinians and their actual appreciation for the student protests. You refuse to show them. Why? Because this is pure manufacturing consent. This is unfiltered pro-Israel propaganda, ladies and gentlemen, in full display. A thing that is not broadly shared, a sentiment that is not broadly shared by the Palestinian population, being promoted so that your Zionist friends can share it on Instagram and talk about how, see, even the Palestinians don't actually want you to protest. Ha! You love Hamas. You're actually doing the wrong thing by protesting. Please stop protesting. Also, the police should kill you.
Thank you so much for joining us here. So, listen, when you first saw the protests
Dumb thought. What if Israel has this dude's family? Man, get the fuck out of here.
on the college campuses here, you were happy about it, right?
Yes, actually, I was happy with the commencement of the protests in the U.S. and in the West in general. I was happy that someone started defending
The second it was released, it was on every Israeli news website. My mom sent it to me. My brain exploded. Of course. Folks, here's the silver lining. This is a desperate last gasp in a movement that has lost all momentum, in a movement that has lost all popularity. They do not have a way to reproduce this guy because there aren't that many of this guy. That's it. So they desperately cling on to this guy and the son of Hamas and like John Aziz or whatever the fuck. And that's it. This guy's annoying, but isn't as bad as the son of Hamas that was on Dr. Hill. Yeah, I love calling that guy son of Hamas.
Palestinians talking about their suffering and putting an effort to end this ongoing war.